let's find the number of natural solutions as well as integral solutions to 1 by a plus 1 by b is equal to 1 by 25. If you were well versed with the factorization process, the 25 will get multiplied with each of them to result 25 and 25, and the product of these would result in 625 is equal to a minus 25 into b minus 25. And how this helps? Now we want to write 625 as a product of two numbers. So we would take the number 625, factorize it, 5 raised to 4, find the number of factors is going to be 5, which is odd. It is odd because 625 is a perfect square. How does this 5 help us? Why did we find the number of factors? Remember, factors when written in ascending order, they become pairs of factor which multiply to 625 itself, right? So we would have this 5 as two pairs of factors and one way, which is nothing but 25 into 25 itself. And I would keep this 25 into 25 separately. I'll not include it here as saying 3 pairs. Why? Because this keeps reminding me that both are identical. Now, whether the question allows me A is equal to B or not will be specified in the question. If it allows me to be equal, I'll use them. If it doesn't allow them to be equal, I'll not use them. Hence, I would always separate it as 2 pairs and one which is of identical object. Let's finish our question. Let's say the first case is A and B belong to set of natural numbers. So I want natural number solutions to them. So I know that each pair, so let's say there are 2 pairs. For example, let's just say as an example, one pair is, let's say what would multiply to 625? 5 into 125. Now 5 into 125, because I want natural numbers, I'll leave them as positives itself. But then remember, there's an A and a B. There's A and a B, and A and B are variables of the question. So interchanging the values would result into new solutions. So I could have A as 5 and B as 125, or B as 125 and A as 5. So each pair is going to result into 2, and there are 2 such pairs. So 2 pairs would result into 2 into 2, that is 4 solutions. And what about that 125 into 25? Now this 25 into 25, even if I reverse it, I do not get a new solution. It's the same thing, right? So that is going to be one more solution. So total is going to be 5 solutions. We do not really need to work anything here. Do I need to check all those? That I just ask you to do it, because being the first question, you should know what is happening to A and B. I again repeat, A and B are not 5 and 125. Remember, A minus 25 is 5 and B minus 25 is 125, right? So those things should be in the background, but you don't really have to do all those ones. Nevertheless, so for natural solutions, I have got 5 solutions. And let's check for integral solutions. Integral solutions. In integral solutions, I could also use a minus 5 and minus 125, or a minus 125 and a minus 5. Why? Because integers allow negatives to be there. So each pair, one pair would result into 4 solutions. So 2 into 4, that is going to be 8 solutions. And remember, 25 into 25 is going to boil down to 2 solutions. Which are those 2 solutions? 25 and a 25, minus 25 and a minus 25. So 8 and 2, I get 10 solutions. Well, if you have done all this, you have learnt it well enough, but we are being a little reckless. We are just doing these working in our first question. In our first question, we should always test all possibilities. So let's write 125 as different possibilities, right? So different possibilities are 1 into 625. 2, 3, 5. 5 is the next. 5 into 125. 10, 15. Only 5s are there. So the next is going to be 25 into 25. And if you look at 25 into 25, 25 into 25 are both are the identical, right? So these are the 2 pair that we were talking about. What are those 2 pair? 1 into 625, 5 into 125. And hereafter reversal will start. Reversals will start because A and B are 2 different values. So I can take the reverse in that case, which is going to be 625 into 1. Why are we doing this check business? These are the values of A minus 25. So I need A and B. So let's check A and B. So how do I get an A? These are values of A minus 25, mind you. So when we take the 25 to the other side, we'll just add a 25. Let's add a 25 to all these numbers. So this is 26, this is 30, this is 50, this is 150, this is 650. And what do we do to all these values? Add a 25 to them as well. So this is going to be 650, this is going to be 150, add a 25, that's a 50, add a 25, 30, and 26. So these are the values of A and B. Now if you want, you can plug it back into the original equation. 1 by A plus 1 by B is equal to 1 by 25 and check whether they satisfy it or not. You can do it for a couple of them and leave it. So do we have those 5 solutions? Yes. So there was nothing difficult here. We have got that as an answer here. Let's go to the integral part. Now in the integral part, what happens is we could even use negatives. I need the product to be plus. So if one is negative, the other also has to be negative. So this is minus 5, minus 125, minus 25, minus 25, minus 125, minus 5, minus 625, minus 1. And when I add a 25 to all of these, I get a 24, 20, 0, minus 120, add a 25, minus 600. Add a 25 to these numbers. So minus 600, minus 100. Oh, this is my mistake. Minus 125 plus 25 is 100. 0, add a 1 to 25 becomes a plus 20, add 25 becomes a 24. So these are the other 5, 5 and 5, 10, but the problem is this. The problem is this, A and B cannot be equal to 0. Why? Because they appear in the denominator. So this solution is not acceptable. So 10 solution goes wrong and the correct answer is 9 solutions. So let me end it here by saying, very often in these even in the last set of questions, when we were writing it as a difference of 2 squares, you would have wondered, when I have 5 factors and my answer is straight 5 solutions, why am I going through the route of 2 pairs and then 2 pairs into 2, 4, 4 and 1, 5? We are again arriving at a 5. So why can't I just say if there are 5 number of factors are 5, this can take 5 different values. You can pretty much do that, but you'll miss out the fact that they are equal. And that equal possibility always creates an issue. Either the question doesn't allow them to be equal, or something like this might happen. If they're equal, especially in this case, right, you might count a solution which is not acceptable, right? So I would, for the first 2, 3, 4 questions at least, I would be doing in my rough work. When I'm absolutely, look, you practice in the nets. In the net, if you're making a mistake, you keep practicing that over and over again. But you don't go out and try something new in an exam, right? So do this net practice on your rough sheets, such that when you go to the exam, whatever the question paper throws to you, you should be knowing what is going to happen here. This all should be mental image in your mind, right? So let's do some more questions. As I said, these questions can only be practiced when you do a lot of them.